Hello, everyone. Welcome to Growth Secrets Podcast. And my name is Abiodun Mustafa. If you're meeting me for the very first time, I'm a personal development expert, an educator, and author. And every time we have a session on Growth Secret Podcast is always exceptional, phenomenal, quintessential. And we do well to always ensure that you come here receiving the best and doing a lot of amazing things with your life and making impact in your immediate community. So today, I have an amazing guest, and we met physically for the first time this year, and it has been so much amazing things. We've had to meet again after the first time we met at the Young Professionals Forum in Ogun State. And this is an amazing personality who is lovable with a lot of winsome attributes that you would really love and you would see visible from the session we will be having today. She's a multi award winning speaker, trainer, and coach who specializes in using storytelling and deep content to reconstruct and correct everyday narratives and life experiences. She is a self-conscientious, motivated lady, passionate about women development and enhancement. She's the founder of the MultiWoman Network, a youth-led that empowers women and the girl child with basic skill sets for maximizing their potentials and becoming global citizens. Every year, she convenes the Multi Women Conference, a signature event that brings women from all walks of life to tell their stories, share, and propose solutions to issues of economic empowerment and grassroots development for women. And I also know as one of the key individual who has volunteered for the Ambassador Summit, an annual event that holds in the University of Lagos, which I had the ability to be a participant of. And she holds a key role in major events across Africa and that also reaches out to the world. She's a member of the Global Social Economic and Financial Evolution Network. Join me, ladies and gentlemen, as I welcome the phenomenal, quintessential, exceptional Mary Ogundimu.
Wow, it's
Welcome.
the hype for me. Thank you so much. Good evening.
Yeah, so basically, can you tell us about yourself before we go into the key subject of today? I know I've read a lot about your bio, but in a simple term, if you met
Exactly.
someone for the first time, what would you tell that person about yourself?
Oh, okay. If I'm meeting somebody for the first time, I think what I would want to tell the person is that the person should discover me for him or herself. I mean, there's a lot to me. So it depends on maybe where I'm meeting the person. But I think maybe one thing I'll probably tell the person is that I am very pleased to meet the person and I'm so excited and I look forward to the kind of relationship we're going to be building.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
So today we want to talk about a concept that has been going viral through you, and it's the concept of suffering and smiling. Wow. Like it's
Mm.
something that is, I don't know how much, but I don't want to create a lot of the anticipation yet. I want people to listen to you. Tell us about this concept of suffering and smiling. And I know you wrote a book concerning this particular subject matter. Can you just share a bit about this concept of suffering and smiling? Let's hear from you and just know what brought about this idea. At what point can we employ this concept of suffering and smiling? Is this just a word to get people think, or something that's really real, something that happens truly, or it's just an hype, like someone wants to write a book to get people to say, oh yeah, suffering and smiling is a powerful caption, powerful title, or what's the experience? What's it about suffering and smiling?
Okay, thank you so much. So, suffering and smiling, for me, it was like the summary of what my life was when I was in the banking industry. So after spending 6 years and 6 months in the banking industry, it got to a point where, along the line, I looked at everything I've been doing, how my life has been going, and I'm like, you know what? This really looks nice and beautiful and fanciful on the outside, but on the inside of me, I'm not so happy about where I am in my life at that point. And what I could term it to be was, what I'm doing here is just suffering and smiling, because people see it from the outside, people love it, people are excited. Some people would even say, oh, you know what, I love what you do, I want your kind of life, I'm excited about it, I wish I could get this kind of job. And in my mind, I'm like, y'all don't know what's going on the inside. Like, you don't even have an idea. So that was it for me at that period of my life. And I remember that when I was writing the book, I when somebody had told me to maybe dedicate the book, and I'm like, you know what, I'm putting out this book or this write-up to everyone who is going through a tough time in a particular area of their life, more like a suffering season. But in the midst of it all, they still try to smile in the storm. They keep putting in effort and energy just to get to their destinations. I mean, there are some silent tears that people, you can't even talk to it about people, but deep down on the inside of you know that this is going on and you do not like it. You're not happy about it. I'm just hoping and praying that someday, somehow, God is going to give you the courage to dare and confront whatever it is, so that at the end of the day, you would see that everything you want is on the other side of fear, and all you just need to do is to take that leap. Take that leap. I mean, just today, I was having a conversation with somebody who is at the verge of making a crucial decision in her career. And she's saying, you know what, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to go about it. She sent me the message yesterday, and she's like, Mary, you know what? I don't know if this is fear of the unknown, but I just know that right now I'm not in the best state of mind. I don't know what to do. What I had to tell her is to calm down. You don't make a decision when you're not in the best state of mind. Very important. So if you want to make any decision at all, either you want to change your job, either you want to move on in your career, either you want to go on and get something done, either it's a relationship you want to move on to from, either it is a finance you want to get, or a mortgage, or whatever it is, whatever decision you want to make, just make sure that you are making that decision when you are with your right senses. Very, very important. Then the next thing I told her, I talked her, because I'm going to just use her as as an example, because that's just the most recent conversation I had about this. And then when she told me what her salary was, I'm like, okay, now I see why you were really frustrated. And the truth is, for a lot of us in Nigeria, when we look at what we do, when we put it side by side, what we get as pay, I mean, it doesn't match it at all. It doesn't match it. I remember when I was in the banking industry. I mean, as much as people loved it, it looked nice, right? Because of course, when you're going in the morning and then you see bankers, we're all dressed in our suits, we're all beautiful looking, all smiling and all that. Our black to match dresses, our hair really packed and well trimmed, and you're like, oh, this is nice. This is nice. The truth is that a lot of people, even in that space, if they have the option to jump out the next minute or the next moment, they are going to do so. They are going to do so. Why? Because to some extent, they're not even finding the fulfillment in that space. It's just a little percentage of people in that industry. And I mean, generally, not even streamlining it to the bank now, generally, who are doing exactly what they love to do, like you've gone to school to study a particular course and you're out, you're doing something entirely different. I mean, totally different. And people actually like, oh, why are you doing this? You're like, well, I beg, let me just do anyone I see, Jare, at all, na him bad, I beg you better. That kind of life. So it's serious. And I mean, a lot of people are being affected, but the truth is, When you begin to, look at, oh, this is what I get, this is how much I'm doing and investing, and the kind of effort I'm putting in into this work, and this is what I'm getting. It doesn't really match it. But again, because again, you look at the economy, you look like, you know what, I don't want to go and join the category or the percentage of unemployed people. I can't even make the decision right now. So because of that, sometimes we just want to sit in that so-called comfortable place. We don't want to move forward because again, we don't know what's going to happen when we eventually leave. So when I was having a conversation with her today, that's my friend, I had to tell her that, you know what, the reality is that you will not be here forever. That's the truth. But I feel like some of us don't come to that sincere point with ourselves. We don't come to that sincere point with ourselves. I remember when I was dropping my letter back then, and my boss was like, Mary, why are you leaving? I'm like, Mom, I won't be here forever. I mean, I'm not meant to work here with you forever. I have to move on. And for me, it's a growth signal that, you know what, I have used up the time I'm meant to use in this space, and I need to move on. I need to move forward. I have grown. So for a lot of us, when we begin to grow, when we begin to see that, you know what, there's more to me, there's more calling, there's a deeper level I want to get to, there are more things I want to do. So we begin to feel uncomfortable. And sometimes when we are not sure of what is on the other side for us, we become really scared. And then it now becomes a case of, you know what, let me just stay here and manage. Let me just stay here and manage. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, this one that I still have is okay. I still see it. I still have it. The salary is still coming. But deep down on the inside of you, you know that you're not happy about it. You know that if you have an option, you jump out. I mean, I began to really consider what I was doing in my life when I began to ask some of my friends who have been on the job for like 10 years, 11 years. And, when I'm in a conversation with them, I'm like, and they're like, you know what? I don't know what I've been doing here for the past 11 years. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? How can you be in a place for 11 years and you say you don't know what you've been doing? It's terrible. I mean, it's so bad. It's so bad. And the funny thing was that the last time when COVID happened last year and it was so serious, a lot of companies had to lay off people. And guess what? Some of my friends were part of those that were laid off. And when that happened, I couldn't be more broken because I felt like, okay, fine. If you had left by yourself, it would have been a decision you made consciously, right? You'd have thought of, okay, when I leave, this is this one happened. You just woke up and then you just saw it. What would you do? What happens when you don't even have a plan B? I mean, nobody prays to be sacked. Nobody prays to be, relieved from work. Nobody wakes up and then says, Lord, as I'm going to the office today, let me be sent back home. Nobody prays that kind of prayer. So what happens when these things just happen? And guess what? Life happens. I mean, life throws us back and forth, like sideways, left to the right. And sometimes all you have to do is just to stand up for yourself. So that was actually what bettered that suffering and smiling tag for me. And I had to write it in a book to document what my journey had been, what it had been like. So that's just it. I hope I answered the question.
That's an amazing. In fact, I have to triple the amazing. There's a point you say
Okay.
amazing, but this is triple amazing. And I just looked at that concept and find out how relatable it is. Like if you take that concept from career, you take it into even self-identity. A lot of
Mhm.
people are faking their lives and they smile on social media. They smile so well, so broadly as if they are okay, realizing that they are living the kind of life that's not them. Like they just want to please everyone. And people get
Mm.
to the point that even in your financial status, you are struggling. And you see people asking you, how are you doing? It is well. And you are smiling to everyone. It's of you to let them know what the problem is. And how do you find the question is, how do you find this relating to areas of life? Like, let's bring it to the part of self-identity. You see someone, like you just mentioned, someone will be in the bank, you're not doing well, you are not happy, and people are, how are you doing? You even smile, you fix the smile, and you feel like, oh, we are okay, we're doing well. Why? Because they could see the clothes, they could see. And there's a native saying that says everyone knows what is inside the clothes. It's only the clothes that
Mm,
covers the real
right,
thing.
right.
So let's bring this concept to self-identity. Like, there's someone right there now who knows that I should be living a life better than this. I should be doing something greater than what I'm doing. I should be at the top there. But there's something within me that is drawing me back. Yet I smile to everyone as though everything is going on well. What would be your counsel to this kind of person?
There's something I like to always say. Actually, I do a lot of counseling, consultation, and all. In fact, since I wrote this book, I've had more people talk to me about things, going on in their life, and it's really obvious. I agree with you that yes, a lot of people are not happy. Lots of people are not, so excited with where they are right now, and yes, when you see them on the outside, you love what you see, you are so excited. And I mean, some of us even jokingly wish for their kind of life, but you don't know what is going on the inside. I remember having a meeting with, no, I think I met one on a panel session. I was speaking alongside her, and this is a very beautiful lady. I mean, she looks like a princess. She's so beautiful, and I'm not exaggerating. But when she began, I think that session we're talking about pain. When she began to talk about what her health condition had been for a period of time now, I couldn't close my mouth. Like it was, in fact, I couldn't believe I was hearing, because that was the first time I would hear a story like that way. So I felt like, oh wow. So this thing is real. There are lots of people going through hard times, difficulties. But I think the problem is that as human beings, we like to deceive ourselves too much. It's just too much. The level of the height of self-deceit is in fact it's scary. It's really scary, because the truth is, even if you will lie to everybody around you, don't make a mistake of lying to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if you want to deceive everyone around you, even if you want to deceive people on social media, you want them to see you as, oh, somebody who is, perfect, eye up there and all. It's okay, it's your choice. But please, when you get to your closet, when you are alone, tell yourself the truth you need to hear. Because guess what? At the end of the day, it is you who is losing your self identity.
Yeah.
At the end of
Correct.
the day, it is you who is deceiving yourself. At the end of the day, it is you who is losing. And guess what? People are fast to move on.
Yeah. Yeah.
The moment
Correct.
he
Yes.
gets out, and then they are like, oh wow, so she's, so it's not even like this. Oh, so the car we saw was, it was loan. Oh, she borrowed the money.
Yeah.
Oh, you will be surprised that the people who are singing your praises today, they are the same people who will come tomorrow and say, crucify her, crucify him. And
Yeah.
I'm serious
Correct.
about this. So a lot of
Yes.
us as humans, we just like to deceive ourselves. We just want to please people. Oh, what do they have to say about me? Oh, if I dress
Mhm.
this way, would they like it? I mean, I said some things jokingly. I mean, on my status with my friends, and I'm like, if you like, look at how I'm dressing, and you say, ah, Mary, this girl, she dresses nice, she wears beauty. Go and you and dress the way Mary wants to dress. You forget so soon that I'm in the media. Sometimes in
Yes.
fact, when I work as an event host, guess what? The price I'm charging for the event I'm hosting, I've added the price of my clothes to it. You don't understand. It comes with my
Mm.
job. So you
Yes.
that are not
Yes.
doing my
Yes.
kind of job, you wait, you think I will go and work and I'll be using money to buy clothes? Are you joking? I don't understand. So some people don't
Yeah.
even get that. Some things, see, you see people on in the media and you will feel like, oh wow, look at this person. I had a conversation with one of my friends recently who is also at events, and I'm like, you know what? All these our addresses, what do we do to them? Like, because the kind of job we do, we literally maybe make a new dress, at least in a month, maybe we make maybe 3 or 4 new dresses and all of that as we have an event. It doesn't mean you can't repeat dresses, but I'm just using this as a scenario. And I'm like, you know what? All these dresses, what are we going to do with them? She says, Mary, this is what I do. If I don't dash out the dress, I will use this same dress to remake another style. So why you are there in your house thinking I bought plenty dresses? You don't even know if I only just use the same material to remake another dress and I just added something to it. You don't even understand how it is happening. You don't know if I had just entered the shop and I said, Madam, please, how much is this for? Oh yeah, give me. And then went to give my tailor, who will not charge me more. And then I say, Madam, please let me add this to it. Then it becomes a new dress. In your house, you're sitting there and you're saying, man, this girl, she's a big girl. Oh. Then you also now want to do copycat. Then you want to do like that. You that you know that you have not eaten one afternoon food. Then you want to go and use the remaining money you have to go and buy dresses. Why? Because you want to show off. Why? Because you want to please people. Why? Because you just want to appear nice, all good. We deceive ourselves too much. And maybe I feel like as a realist, I just like to, if I don't have, I don't have. It's simple. If I need to work to having it, I work to have it. And for God's sake, where did we come to this concept of living our lives just to please people? How did we even get to that point where all we want to do is just to get people's opinion of us? How did you ask yourself, how did I get to this point? Because in your bid of satisfying people, you are losing yourself. Look at yourself now. You're losing yourself. You're losing everything that makes you you. Why? Because you just want to please the other people, other persons. But in your pleasing other people, you are losing yourself. So in the end, at the end, when you wake up, guess what? You can't even find yourself in the circumference.
Yeah.
To what end, to what extent are we doing these things? To
Yeah.
what extent are we doing these things? Why?
Hmm.
So when people say, okay, what's your purpose? What's your purpose? It's not a big word in like,
Yeah.
when people hear purpose, they feel like, hey, this word again. No, it's not as big as you think. They're asking you, what is your essence? Why are you here? What are you doing with your life? What is it exactly that it is to you? When you begin to
Yeah.
sit down and you begin to answer these questions, I'm sure you'll be able to find that answer. Self identity is something that a lot of people, like everybody, has to go through that phase because it is your
Yeah.
self conception. It is what
Yeah.
makes you you, it is what defines you. And it plays a critical role because, again, if you don't know what makes you you, you are going to do what others say makes you you you. Do you
Yes.
get it?
Very correct. Yeah.
Because you don't even know what makes you you. So, what are we now talking about? You don't even know. It is said that when you don't even know where you are going to, everywhere looks like where you are going. You get to a
Yeah.
bus stop, you say, oh, is this where I'm meant to come down? Because you don't know. Imagine if you are going to Oshodi, like you've never been to Lagos, you are going to Oshodi. Anybody, the person who tells you to come to Lagos will say, ensure you tell the driver that you are going to Oshodi. You know why? Because when somebody wants to stop at Ladipo, you have, in fact, there's every tendency that you want to come to Ladipo because you think that's Oshodi, because of course you do not know. So when you don't even know where you are headed, when you don't even know what you are about in life, everywhere looks like everybody's vision, everybody's life looks like your life. You see this one today, you say, I love this kind of life. Oh, I wish my life can be like this. Tomorrow, you see another person doing well, you say, how? I wish my life can be like, and you are confusing yourself. You're confusing yourself because in the end, you want to be like A, B, C, D. You want to be like everybody. Find your true essence. What are you really about? Stop
Yeah.
this jumping up and down, jumping around. You're making everything complicated. So when you now begin to think about purpose, you are now confused because what you have even confused yourself from the beginning.
Yeah.
Calm down. Yeah, just calm down, calm down.
Let us be coming down.
Let us be calming down, please. Just calm down with find it. I mean, ask yourself simple question. What exactly is it I'm about? What do I even want to do for myself? What do I want out of life? What when people see me, what do I want them to see? In fact, when we now even turn the conversation to maybe legacy, you're not probably asking yourself, when I'm done here, what will people even remember me for?
Yeah.
Will you be remembered as somebody who doesn't even have his or her bearing? Like you're just there, here and there, everywhere, everything goes, whatever. Oh yeah, bring it, let's go. Kind of, how long do you want to do that?
Wow.
How long do you
In
want to do
fact,
that?
the fourth, this is an amazing conversation that it's topical on its own. Like I even think about it sometimes and relate to people that it's funny. You find out that you now grow up to be 60 and you look back and find out you did not even live you, and everything you did before now was choosing to be this. Today you say, oh, digital marketing is selling and this lady is getting a lot of likes, let me also float there.
You jump
Oh,
there.
this this person now is growing a lot of this with dancing, let me also go into it. Oh, this is the new skill, let me go to it. And yet you don't know how these things relate to you as a person.
It's terrible. It's
And
so it's
my
such a
pain
terrible kind of life to live.
my pain is that some of these people will end up getting married, give birth to children who will end up not knowing themselves because they don't even know themselves. So it's now a generational
Because
thing
it's hard.
that is going on and
How do you want
on.
to advise a child? How do you want to advise a child when even you are not gathered together?
Wow, it's
Then
amazing.
then
Thank you,
you
thank you
begin to you begin to
for
produce
this.
generations of
Mm.
confused people.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why the world is in a chaos. All right, amazing. If you're still with us, this is podcast session, Growth Secrets with Mary Ogundimu, and we've been sharing on the concept of suffering and smiling. Now, there is this concept that goes from the concept of faith. Now, you talked about the part where you had to leave your banking job and then you went into a new, not a new career to you, but a place where you feel is more fulfilling to you and more relational to you. And someone is there wanting to know because you have to take a step of faith. I remembered last month you shared with us, telling us that at a point you wanted to leave, but your friends kept asking you, when you leave right now, are you sure you know how to cope for the next bill that will come, the next source of sustenance and all of that? But eventually, at a point, you felt this is the time to now take the action of faith. But there's somebody right now who is always saying, how are you doing? You're saying it is well. You know that statement, religious statement, it is well. It is well. It is come to reality. Are you sure it is well? Don't be suffering and telling us it is well. There's this time when we go for let's say gatherings and you see this person is battered, this person is sick, you are not fine. And we're asking you, how are you doing? You are saying it is well. And at the end of the day, they would have to rush you to the hospital because you did not confess on time, you did not speak up on time. So at what point do we know that this is an action of faith and this is an action of religious foolishness? I call it religious foolishness because this is so painful. Like you see people not doing well, even in your relationship. They ask you, how are you doing? Oh, it is well, and you are covering it because you said somebody said something, it is well, and eventually it was well. But at the end of the day, it's not well with you. And a lot of people have suffered like that, smiled like that, and they have been beaten to stupor. They've been they've been battered seriously. So at what point can we demystify when this is a statement or action of faith and this is a point of religious foolishness?
Okay, so let me quickly say that I think the mistake a lot of people make is that they don't even know what faith is, actually, because faith faith is never a lie. That's what a lot of people don't know. So when somebody asks you a question and you respond with a lie, you're not exhibiting faith, my brother. Maybe I should say that again. When somebody asks you a question and you respond with a lie, you know that this thing I'm saying is a lie. That is not faith. Because faith is a conviction, a belief that something is true and or it is real. It is your faith in God. You believe that God is real. You believe that God is true. You believe that God cannot lie. That is faith. Okay. Now, when you now try to cover up a lie with a response to deceive yourself or to deceive whoever you are talking with, that's foolishness. So I understand the religious foolishness you mentioned. But again, the problem with our Christian brothers and sisters, or let me not say Christian, but religious people, is it comes back to that point of people not being sincere with themselves. I'm serious. Like, that word sincerity, there's a lot to it. Even in relationship, you and I know that that marriage you are in is not well. You know that it is not well because you still received punching last night. But we'll ask you this morning, you will come and say it is well. Then we'll ask you what happened to you. Say, oh, I fell on the stairs. You know that you didn't fall on the stairs. You know that it was a slap that gave you that mark. You know. So you're not being sincere with yourself. At the end of the day, guess what? It is you in the marriage. It is still you in the marriage. So who are you deceiving? I mean, who are you? It still comes down to the fact that people fail to be sincere with themselves. It's simple. Even if you don't want to maybe expose the entire thing to say, okay, you know what, I don't want people to know. It is not a right thing. You don't lie in your how do I explain this? Holy Spirit, please help me. You don't lie with the thought of it will be okay. That's why I'm saying this. Do you even know that the thing that led to that it is well conversation in the Bible? Do you even know what led to it? When the servant of the Lord asked the woman, is it well with your household? Is it well with your son? Even though the child was dead. Do you even know that story? Do you understand that story very well? When you go to the scriptures and then you come and quote, let the weak say I am strong, let the poor say I am rich. Do you know the context in which that word was used? So you are poor. You will come and say, I declare by faith, I am rich. What are you doing towards your wealth? What are you doing towards your riches? What kind of effort are you putting into use, into practice, that will move you from this level you are to where you want to get to? Even if your amen is the loudest in the church, my brother, even if your amen is the loudest and you're not doing what you need to be what you need to do, guess what? God is not a magician. You will still remain in the same spot. You will still remain in the same spot. So let's stop deceiving ourselves. So the place of faith is separate. Okay? The place of you being foolish, in fact, is another separate thing, because God does not advise his children to be foolish. Because when the Bible says you should be as wise as serpents, you thought the Bible was joking. You thought it was a joke. Foolishness is not a trait of the kingdom. Oh. It's not in this our own lineage. It's not a trait of the kingdom. You don't come and lie, cover up things, all because you want people to just feel like, oh, it's okay, it is well. I'm not saying don't have positive confessions. I'm not saying don't speak in faith. But ensure that as you're speaking in faith, you are putting things you need to put in place. Ensure that you are doing those things. That is when your faith will work, because it's faith and work that goes together. When you come and sing, prayer is a key, prayer is a master key. Guess what? Prayer is just one key. There are so many other keys. So many other keys. One key is forgiveness. One key is giving. So when you come and say prayer is the only thing you need, my dear, prayer alone does not do it. Prayer alone does not do it. So let's know what we are doing. If we're claiming the promises in the scriptures, let's ensure that we're also doing what the scripture admonishes. Okay? You have been working, you've been doing all you can. You have been, investing, you've been putting everything you need to put in place. And then somebody asks you, how is you say it is well? You know why you can say it is well? Because you believe that all the things you have done, God is going to reward it.
Yeah.
So you say it is well Because you know you have done the work. Not when you have not done the work, you come and say it is well. What exactly is it well with? The thing you have not done, is that what it is well with? No,
Yeah.
what exactly is it well
Mm.
with? Is it your laziness? Is that what it is well with? Is it the folding of your arms? Is that what it's well with? So we ask you, okay, how is it going? How is your education? You say it is well. You and I know that you have not read for that exam. Then you say it is well. Then you expect to pass. Are you kidding? How? How? Okay, how now? How? It is well. It is well with your empty brain. It doesn't make sense now. Let's stop this thing. Like you said it. Did you call it spiritual foolishness or what? I think that's it. Let's stop. Let's
Religious.
stop religious. Let's come. Let's see. Let's just come. I just think that all these things still boils down. It still come back to that word sincerity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just be sincere with ourselves. Imagine if everybody on earth is sincere with themselves and with each other. How would this world look like? Just
Wow.
imagine if every one of us begins to work in sincerity and integrity and uprightness of heart.
Mm.
How will this world look like? Just take a journey. Just imagine. Everybody's coming out clean. We say it as it is. No deceit. Nobody is forming anything for anybody.
Yeah.
It's going to
Mm.
be a lot more better place to live in.
Yeah.
A lot more better place to live in. So how long do we even want to live on this earth and now be lying and deceiving ourselves?
Hmm. Yeah. It's really hurtful, and you'd even see people who would even enroll for mentorship program, coaching program, and they ask you real questions, and you're still hiding the real thing, saying, "I would figure it, no problem," and you're struggling. So,
One thing about my mentees, like in my mentorship session, if you come to my mentorship session and you are lying, anyways, my mentorship session is time bound and is paid for. So if you come, you must have paid, right? If you come and then you are lying, who is losing? It's not me now. You have paid your money.
of
In
course,
3 months, time
yeah,
is going to expire. And I'm
yeah,
saying, okay, you know what? I'm giving you myself for these 3 months. Let's work together. Let's achieve the result we need to achieve. Then you now come and then you are lying. You are losing now. You are cheating yourself. I'm not the one.
mhm,
I'm not the one who is losing at all. And I won't even feel
mhm,
bad for it because I did not ask you to lie. So when you're coming on board on my mentorship session, there's a form to fill. You have to be truthful. Come clean. It's just me and you. Tell me how it is. Let's know what we are looking at. Let's know what we are facing. Let's know what we are fighting. Let's know what we are tackling. If I cannot do it, I'll bring in people. It's better that way. Everybody will be on a good slate. Not that you will now come
yeah.
and then you are blowing grammar upon grammar. Auntie, say the cocoa. Let us know what is the problem.
Tell us his headache. Don't tell us his stomach
Tell
ache
us,
when his
do
headache that
you
is
know?
wrong with you.
Do you get? Tell us what the problem is. So I think I think that just summarizes it. I mean, we need to come to that point
This,
where
mm,
we even know what faith is.
yeah,
Do we even know what faith is? Faith is the way the Bible puts it, things hoped for, right?
yeah,
The evidence that something will be done.
yes,
You have faith, and your faith is not even in ordinary things. Your faith is in God.
yeah,
It is in God. I think that's another thing that some people mix up. The faith you're having is in God.
mm,
And at the end of the day, God is going to do it if He wants to do it. Do you get?
yeah. This is a conversation that, in fact,
God,
people would
no,
need
no,
to be
because
saying,
because
like,
again,
wow.
because again, you are having faith in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
To
Yeah.
what end now? To what end? You're having faith in yourself, in your own abilities. How now? You're having faith in God because it is the evidence of things you have not seen. You know that God will do it. And you know that you have done your own part of it. It's the human part and then the divine part. The next thing you just want to do is that, you know what, God, I trust you. I've done what I want to do. I've done what you asked me to do.
Mm,
Even when we talk about repentance, and then we say, oh, you know what, it is your belief in Christ that saves you. guess what? If you don't even come to that point of confessing and owning up to say, God, you know what, I trust you with my life. God, I need you. The faith is going to be useless. It's going to be
Yeah.
useless.
Yeah.
Because you have to do your part. You have to come clean and say, God, you know what? I need you at this point. I can no longer do it. I'm tired of trying it on my own. Okay, come and save me. Come and help me. And then you
Mm.
believe that God will help you. It is simple. But you know, we as humans, we believe in ourselves.
Mhm.
We believe
Yeah.
in ourselves. We just want, we just want to do everything. Say, I have faith. I have faith. In faith in what? In your own abilities. You, this ordinary woman, that
Mm.
only one knock on your head, you have disappeared.
Your house. Yeah, correct. It's very, very, very critical that people understand this, because most especially when you have to talk to Africans, you have to first demystify the thinking of
So
that
Africans,
religiosity
Africans are
house.
just Africans are just a peculiar set of people. I won't lie to you. We are just peculiar in everything, in our reasoning, in our understanding, in our worldview, in our perspectives. We are just a peculiar set of people. That's it.
Yeah, so amazing conversation. Like it's so phenomenal response, and I think everyone have gotten a lot of message from this. Now, my question here is: we talk about suffering, smiling, and I had that part of speak up, because you cannot be suffering and just smiling. There's a point where you have to really
Mm.
speak up. You have to really
Mm.
seek the right solution. You have to seek from the people who have these things. I know there's one of your posts I read on Facebook where you actually mentioned that at a point where you needed to take the decision of leaving the work that you do, you reached out to someone, and maybe more than one people, and you got counsel before going ahead. Some people just take decisions in their suffering moment just because they say, I need to take the action right now. So this will likely be two questions in one. One,
Okay.
what are the attributes we need to look out for to know the kinds of people to speak to in our moments of suffering and we want to come out of it? Because somebody will be right
Mm.
there and be saying, I do just want to talk to anyone. And in the past, I've had trust issues, like speaking to people. At the end of the day, the outcome was really bad. How can I begin to trust people? And what attributes do I look out for when I need to come out of my suffering moment into my breakthrough season?
Okay, so when we talk about trust, so before I took my decision, I spoke with people I know that before now we have been talking together. It is not the conversation of I want to resign that made me go and talk to them. These are people in my inner circle. These are people, some of them are my mentors, some of them are my friends. Okay. And we have been through some of life challenges together, from their own end, from my own end. We have always been available for each other. So it is not as if it was my decision at that time that now made me go and meet them. No. We have built a relationship over time. We have built that trust between or amongst ourselves over time. And my talking to them is not for them to decide for me, it is just for counsel. And those are two different things. When I'm making a decision, I understand that this decision is for myself, it's for my life, it's for my growth. So when I'm talking to you, I'm not talking to you because I want you to confirm for me. No, because it is my decision. And I will be here to bear the consequences of that decision. When I'm talking to you as a mentor or as a friend, I want to seek your opinion. I want to seek what your counsel is. What do you want to advise me? And I remember, so I'll give you two scenarios. I spoke with two of my friends, right? I spoke to quite a lot of people around me, and I just wanted to get their opinion. I mean, is there anybody who has left a job before, who has changed a career path before? I wanted to get how does it feel like? Maybe you have been there before me. What are the things I expect? Okay. And in fact, there was one of my friend I spoke to, and when we were talking, she was like, "Okay, Mary, fam, let's sit down. When you leave the bank this month, you collect your salary, Abby." I said, yes. She said, next month, when you are not collecting salary, what will you be doing? I answered her. I said I'll be on training. I'll be doing this. Okay, you'll be on training. How long is the training? I told her. She said, okay. The third month, what's going to happen? That's one side of it. She was just concerned about my well-being, my well-being. How is it going to be? How would I navigate? And I remember also in that conversation where I told her that, babe, you know what? If at the end of the day I leave and all these things I've told you doesn't work out the way it has been, I am ready to bear the consequences. I'm ready to face life. Like I'm ready to get into that part where it now gets like, Mary, now wow, why you can't take this job? I'm ready. So already I have already prepared my mindset. Okay, oh, it may not happen this way, oh, it may not happen, and it may happen. That was one side. Now I had another friend who, when I told, after she thought about it, she said, say Mary, I don't think it is nice for you to leave now. I don't think so. Where are you going to get money for this? Where are you going to get money for that? Where are you going to get money for this? Both of them are still my friends. Both of them were speaking from a place of sincere concern. Different approaches. Okay? So when you are talking to people, especially when you are making decisions about your life, you are there to seek counsel or guidance, which may or may not affect your decisions. I'll give you another vivid example. When I was in a relationship some years ago and I knew that it was time for me to leave, I needed to leave because I knew that this is not what I want to do. This is not where I want to be for the rest of my life, and I can no longer continue. And when I took that decision, because this is a very critical decision, I mean, it was about marriage, it's very critical. And if you must know, in our own side, like in Africa, the choice of marriage is one that everybody in your life wants to have a say. Everybody, in fact, everybody has an opinion. So if you don't even know what you are doing, you are likely, very likely to be confused. Because what? When I made the decision and then I said, I told the guy, I need to leave. Let's just take a break. We can't continue. A lot of things have happened. These have happened. What did I know here? Hey, hey. One woman legit called me. I said, Mary, you don't know. Every marriage has their issues. In fact, me and daddy, we see, and then she told me, oh, I say, hey, and I was even much younger, And it got to a point I'm just like, you people should leave me alone. I don't know what to do again. Why? Because I now began to hear conflicting voices. This one says, do this. Another one say, Mary, do this. I don't know, Jesus. Later on in the future, I mean, years later, years have passed. I mean, everybody has moved on. This same woman, called me. And then she said, Mary, are you around? I need to see you. Come and see me. I said, okay, ma. I think after a Sunday service, I just went to meet her. And then she said, Mary, I see the things you do. I'm so proud of you, oh. I'm so proud of you. I said, what? What is this? I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, is it that this woman has changed? What am I saying? Is it not the same woman who was advised? But now, that is people for you. Oh. When you are dancing in that tune, they love you, they appreciate you, they hail you. You make a decision and you want to stand by it. You would see how they would think you are proud. You see how they would think you are rude, how you think you are stubborn. But guess what? If it is the best decision for you and you know that this is the best decision for you and you have prayed about it, God has given you his backing, my darling, you need to just go ahead. You need to just go ahead. So when we now talk about trust, right? I'm coming to tie it to the matter of trust now. So for trust in relationship with friends and all, when you're making a decision, any decision at all, you get to junctions in your life, you want to make a decision. I think the first person you want to trust with that decision is God. What first is God saying about it? Have you consulted God? What is God saying? Okay, God, do I move ahead? Is this the next thing? I had my covenant with God. I didn't want to be 7 years on the job. That was my own covenant with God. And I was already 6 years and 6 months. So I knew that in the next 6 months, it was going to be defying that covenant. And then I had to tell God, like, God, I told you I cannot be 7 years on this job. You need to let me know what's the next thing. And then it began to align my paths and things began to happen. Such that as I was living, I mean, it was just like opportunities were already waiting for me to leave. That was my own confirmation. So I didn't even have to stress myself about, oh, I didn't have money. No. When I left, I became richer. Like I became, in cash. I tell my friends this, I mean, this is like a testimony. The money I used to buy my laptop, everything was just coming, and I'm like, I've not, even all my years of banking, I have never had that lump sum of money. It has never happened that me, I would gather money like that, even when I was earning salary. That was my own confirmation. What will your own confirmation be? What has God told you about your next move? What have you heard from God? What has God told you? Where is God even leading you? Very important. Now, you also will not rule out the place of men, because you want also people to be, because people have gone ahead of you, and that's why you have mentors. I see a question where someone is asking the difference between mentors and coach. I think we'll come back to that later. So you have people that already you trust. So it is not when you are making a decision, that's when you now be looking for somebody to trust. No. Before then, you must have built relationship with people. You cannot say there's nobody around you that you cannot trust now. Not even your parents. Abba. You cannot say there is nobody. That means even you need to check your character.
Something is wrong with that person.
That means something is wrong. I hear people say it a lot that I cannot trust anybody. That means even you have a problem with trust. You cannot even trust yourself. That's the truth. Because it cannot be so bad that you don't even have a single person, one person that God has placed in your life to help you navigate through life. Because guess what? You would get to junctions where you no longer can do it by yourself. That's the truth. You need shoulders to lean on. You need somebody to talk to. You need somebody to just pour your heart to, pour your mind to. Like I literally have friends that if something is going on with my head, I don't know who to call. Like, please come, just come. All I need you to just is come and hear what I want to say. When I'm done talking to you, I'm going to be relieved. So you cannot come and say there's nobody. I don't have anybody to trust. Nobody is good. I don't. You check yourself. You are the problem. I'm serious. I'm serious.
Correct.
And you know the thing they say about like begat like. So yeah, check yourself. Check yourself. Do people even trust you? You that you say you don't have anybody to trust. Can somebody trust you?
Of course.
So maybe when we begin to take it from that angle, everybody now they will start taking their own. I
Yes.
didn't come see you people that know me know me. Oh, I'm a very gentle person. I didn't come for war. Please, oh, I'm a peaceful girl. Oh, you can see I didn't come for violence.
Mary is not a war. It's not a fight.
This is not a fight, though.
All right. She's not in that bosky, so she's not a war. She's not a fight. All
Oh
right.
my
This is really,
God.
really amazing. Like we've talked about various aspects. Like I just want you to, if you're that person and you feel like you don't trust people, you just feel like, who can I share this with? Then you need to check yourself. Check
Yeah.
yourself. Create values, develop values that the kind you're looking for in others. Also create it in them. With that, people also want to get close to you, and then you may begin to make friends from there. Wow, because of time, I think I just need to ask this. Now, there's a young person right now who is sorry, before I even go, I need to sincerely appreciate you. Like your responses have been top notch, value exceptional. You have given it all out. And I want everyone listening and watching right now to know that Mary is, even with this one that is so much, is still tips of iceberg. If you get into deeper into talking with her, listening to her, relating with her, in fact, it's
I'm
plenty.
going
You
to
know why they say it's plenty? It's very, very plenty.
KPK.
So there's a young person right now who is saying, who does not have an industrial experience, who does not even have experience as regards his or her career, and the person does not even know how to start. I know you have this experience. There was a point. I don't know if you want this to be public. Like you finished from Abeokuta, having to study, probably went for service here, and you came back. How did that journey all start? And there's somebody who does not have that career experience. So as you are relating this journey, can you also share with that kind of person where to even start? Somebody is filled with the uncertainty of probably his or her nation, things are tight, things are tough, I miss all of that. Where do I even start from? And I've always had this news, this is happening, all of that. And all. I don't want to go into issues that have to do with governance and economy and all of that. But from your experience, what kind of counsel would you give this person?
Okay, so I'm going to give this counsel I gave to, I think, a 500 level pharmacist or so. I was speaking at an event where a lady came up to say, I don't know what I'm going to do after school. I just know that I'm in this school, I'm studying, and by the time I'm done, maybe service. And when I'm done from service, I don't know what I will do. And very recently, I'd gone for a professional course in broadcast, and somebody also approached me, and then she said, okay, so in her case, she is done. She just finished from school, and she came to the broadcast academy also to get the course. And then she says, because okay, so we were in the hostel back then in NBA, and then she said, you know what, I don't know what's going to happen after NBA. I don't know what I'm going to do. So when we are done here, what's the next thing? I don't have anything I'm doing. What am I going to do? And then I told her that she's worrying too much. That was what I told her first off. And when you're worrying so much, or when you're worrying a lot, worrying beclouds your sense of reasoning, so you won't even be able to think straight. So the first thing you really should do, or I would advise you to do, is stop worrying. Stop worrying about what will I do? I don't know. And where will I meet myself? Where will they post me to? How will I do? Mm-mm. Don't bother yourself about some of those things, because the truth is that you don't even know tomorrow. So why do you like to worry yourself? What I would advise you to do is to know what know what the direction your life is going, or know what the direction you want your life to go. So back to my friend's case study in NBA. So I told her that, okay, fine. So this NBA affords us to do internship, right? She said yes. Okay, so you're already doing an internship in a radio station. She says yeah. I said, why not continue with the internship? At least there's nothing you want to be doing. She says, oh, that's true. I said, wait, you make dresses, right? She said, oh yeah, she sews right. Why not continue your sewing? I mean, you can make dresses. Make it official. Let people bring their dresses you sew. You think it's you that think you don't have work because you have not even seen the opportunities around you. By the time you start, you'll be the one that is tired. And shortly after we finished MBA, she chatted me and then she said, oh, I got a place to work with. And then you see, you're worrying because you're not even done with this phase. You're already beclouding yourself. You're already stressed up with what the next phase will be. For a lot of times, I feel like what we need to do as individuals or as young people is to first get a clarity of where we are going. Where exactly is your life headed? Take, for instance, you are still in school. You know that by the time you are done from school, you go for service. Okay, so let's even imagine that service here is delayed, because yeah, those things also happen. Thank God to the Nigerian educational system. So yeah, you probably get delayed, and maybe in a year or there's a 6 months, you have not been called to serve. What are the things you'd probably like to do? What are the things you probably like to develop on? What are the things you probably think, oh, while I'm here, I can learn this, I can get my hands on this. One of the things I think has helped me a lot is my quest for knowledge and my learning. Like, I want to learn everything that is available to be learned. Shebi is not going to take anything away from me. It's going to add to me. I'm going to learn it, especially when I know that it's something I will need on my journey. So I can learn these things because I know that they will be helpful to me at one point or the other. My journey is totally different from yours. Okay. Now you want to ask yourself, what are the things I need to learn to amplify my own process, to amplify my own journey, to amplify my own growth? Those things, have you even learned them? See, even if it is a book you are reading or books that you are reading, just for you to improve and develop yourself, it's going to help you a lot. Another thing I'm going to advise whoever is in that phase of life is to get biographies of people you look up to. Go and read their biographies. Biographies are a giveaway. Like they're a giveaway. You have identified somebody in your industry, you have identified somebody in your space. Go and look for the person's biography and check how the person's journey went or has been. A lot of people in their biographies, you see that they went from this organization to the next organization, they took this training, they took that next training. And because maybe the person's journey aligns with yours, or maybe the person's lifestyle aligns with yours, not necessarily that you want to live that kind of life, you can have a faint idea of what it is you should be doing per time. Another thing I also want to say is volunteer. Ha. Volunteer, oh, it is for your own use. Volunteer. Look for organizations to volunteer your expertise with. I just finished a session with one of my mentees just before I came here. And she said, oh, you know what? I'm interested. I want to grow women. I want to, auntie, go and volunteer first. Go and look for organizations that are doing what you love to do. Go and learn on the job. Volunteering is two-way experience. You are learning on the job. You are also contributing your own quota to the success story of another organization. That way, you are learning. So that even later in future, when you want to build something for yourself, it's easy because you have learned on the job. I volunteered for Ambassadors Radio Show for 4 years. 4 good years of my life. Is it even 4 years, 5? And I was in the banking industry. Yes, I was working in the bank. And every Sunday, I'll land in the studio. Why? Because I love the media. I want to develop my media drive. Nobody was paying me any dime for all those years. You can ask from whoever. Nobody paid me jack. My house to the studio is hands of the earth. For those who know Lagos very well, you know where Unilag is. That's where the studio was. If you know where Alagbado is, you know how the distance is. There are two different ends. Yet I go from that place to the studio did I even say every Sunday? Saturdays. Because I have to go for studio clinic for my voice training. So I go there every Saturday. Sometimes our producer will say, oh, I'll not be around. I'll be like, hey, thank God, I have this Saturday to myself. But guess what? That Saturday, I'm probably in an event doing social media volunteering. You don't understand. 4 good years, nobody paid me jack. The day my father slapped me for coming back late to the studio, it was that day I knew that this is war and it is war. We are going to give it war. Because I had to stay back in the studio. We were recording a jingle for our summit. And I had to stay back in the studio. My phones were off. Everybody in the house was worried. I think I got to the house around 11 p.m. or so. I met my mom outside the gate. As I just got into the house, I said, where are you coming from? Bah! Daddy, I'm coming from the studio. Bah! Next Sunday, I still went. Because what? It is my life. I still went to the studio. I still went. I remember my hot water burn experience when I was sharing with somebody. Out of over-excitement and joy, one Saturday afternoon, I wanted to soak my office uniform with hot water. One thing led to the other. The hot water poured on me. My stomach was burnt, as in, it was burnt. I still have a few of the scars. Guess who went to the studio the next day, which was a Sunday? Oh, yeah, your girl went to the studio. I went with my hot water burn. And when PJ said, was like, Mary, what are you doing here? What is this? What are you doing here? I said, I needed to come to the studio. I didn't, because I loved the studio. I loved the media. That was what I loved. And I was volunteering. No, nobody was paying me any money. I was volunteering. But guess what? Till today, I'm still reaping the benefits of my years serving in that place. Till today, I can say anywhere. Till today, the network I built in that place, I still have a very great relationship with them. Till today, it's been what? Years. I've stopped going there for a long time. You cannot go wrong with volunteering for the right reasons and for the right causes. So you are wondering, what would I be doing? I don't know what to do. I don't want to waste away. Go and volunteer. Oh. In fact, that's the best thing. Go and do internship. Go and take trainings. A lot of free trainings here and there. Don't sit down and be saying, because I don't know where next my life is going to, then let me sit down. You are cheating yourself. You are cheating yourself. Because guess what? All the knowledge you would have amassed during that period, at the end of the day, you will get a point where you will need those things. And then you'll now be wishing that, I wish I had taken this thing before now. So I hope that answers your question.
We have gotten it left, right, center, above, beneath, everywhere.
Me,
Like
gentle girl.
I sincerely agree with you.
I
Volunteering,
came in peace.
it's the same question people always say. Oh, now I found my purpose. What's the next thing to do? Should I launch
Go
out?
and
Should I do this?
volunteer.
Or
You have
get up
found it.
now? I tell them my story. Me, I found purpose 2014. I volunteered up to 2019.
Okay.
Even before
Okay.
even before starting purpose and the other, I was volunteering. I was involved there,
It's a
doing this one, doing that one.
it's actually something to be worried about. I think my generation has this unending desire to show up on time. I think that's it. Something drops in your mind. Immediately you are thinking of the name of your organization. Immediately you are thinking of the logo you want to design.
This chapter you want to
Small
open is trouble.
thing, just small thing, no, small thing. You are thinking of, let us do an outreach in December. Let us go and feed homeless people in the slum. You shall. It is a worry. I'm serious. It is a
Premature manifestation of just
nah
an idea that is still in
nah.
a very
Just an idea, or
small
just
form.
an idea. Just you walking on the street and seeing a beggar. Just that, though. And immediately your mind is saying, I should
I love
open,
orphanages.
I
I
should,
love those
we should
people.
go and visit them in Easter.
Hmm,
What
hmm,
is the basis of your visit? Then you take pictures and post on social media. We were at them so place today. We gave
hmm.
them gari and rice. We gave abba.
Let's be calming down.
Don't get me wrong, right? I'm not saying ideas don't
Hmm,
pop up like that. But calm
hmm,
down, go and learn first. Do you know how many organizations are in this Lagos or in this Nigeria that are doing those things? Go and serve with them. Go and check how they do it. And so
hmm,
I'm not bothered when I see people just show up and then they die off the way they show up. Because, wow, you have not even learned. What training have you even taken in social entrepreneurship? You want to go and open an organization. Do you even know what it means to run an NGO? Do you even know what it means to register an NGO? Let's even start
hmm.
from there. Do you even know the difference between all these things? Fiam, you are now a founder. Small thing now, you are now CEO. We will not hear word again. You have designed flyer and logo. Hey, wahala no dey finish. Oh, hey, you people will not kill me.
Mary want to scatter my podcast, so what should we do to her?
You people, I see these things. Me, I'll just sit there like this. I'll say, now, wow, they don't come again. What's happen? You now come and send us
Hmm,
message, please help our vision. Which vision? Which one? Even me and my vision needs to be helped. You don't understand how it's going. Even me, no. See, these things are they are we can laugh about it now, but
yeah,
it's a
yeah, they
worry.
are
I'm
true.
serious. Sometimes I
Yeah,
see
they
some
are
things
true.
and I'm like, How now? Because I don't know if times are changing, or maybe my route was different. Because
Yeah.
I remember when back then, I think it was even when I had started the MultiWoman Network, I still felt like, you know what, I don't just want to have this thing because I want to be. I had to go and be trained, social
Yeah.
entrepreneurship training, serious one every Sunday at Oshodi. I cannot forget Nimala Chalarams. And I
Wow.
paid for it. I paid for it. They
Wow.
brought different industry experts. You will hear people talk about grants. You hear people talk about funding. You hear people talk about partnership. You hear people talk about collaboration. You will learn.
Hmm.
You will learn these things. All the things I've learned, sef, I've not even used half of it because
Wow.
the journey is still far. You will
Hmm.
learn. You will meet people. I beg. Well, I don't know. I beg. You people
Yes,
should leave me alone. I
it's
don't even want to talk about
it's don't leave me. Don't leave me. Don't leave me.
it.
All right. It's so amazing. You are so correct. Like we will just have to keep opening one chapter after another, one chapter after
Yeah,
another.
it's
People neglect
terrible.
capacity building away from all of these things, and it's like a lot. And sometimes you just wonder and say, okay, let's be watching. We can already see the end from the beginning. We are not God though, but you can picture the end from the beginning. Continue, don't worry. You will soon run back and come and ask questions. The thing you do want to do is still what you will run back to do if you
I
really
tell
still want to
you,
last.
I tell
But the
you.
funny part is some become so shameful and say, this thing I've started, will I now leave it for 2 years and 3 years and 4 years without
Eh,
that's always the
that's the
problem.
problem because they won't want to come back. They cannot come back.
Hmm. It's it's amazing. I think we've had a lot. This is over an hour, and it's still like the energy is still
Over an
there.
hour, Mr. Abiodun, you told me it was meant to be for 30 minutes. Please, I'm packing my bag.
I apologize. So this is always my humorous part of any podcast
I think
episode.
there's a question in the comment. There's a particular
Yes,
question that says,
someone is asking. I need clarification. I need to clarify something, please. It might be someone. So the person is trying to ask what's the difference between a mentor and a coach. From Oluwaseun Emmanuel. Difference between
yeah,
a mentor and a coach.
the reason why it may sound hard to differentiate is because people use these words interchangeably. Sometimes people say, "Oh, he's my coach, he's my mentor," and all of that. But for me, I feel like mentorship is actually for me. Mentorship is quite deeper than coaching, right? Because
Yeah.
a mentor is someone who shares with you their own skills, their experiences, their methods, their knowledge, and all those things. What a coach probably does for you is maybe just to give you guidance. Maybe you just need a person to take you through maybe on a training or a particular phase. Oh, I need guidance on a particular thing. Maybe I want to achieve this goal, right? I want to just get this thing done. I feel like that's what the difference would be like for me. It's deeper. The connection is deeper with mentorship. All right, it's quite deeper. It's on a deeper level because when you take on people to mentor, take for instance now, my mentees have access to me 247. And when I mean 247, I mean 247, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that they can badge on me anytime, right? But what I mean is when if my mentee drops a message, anyone in my mentorship session, if he or she drops a message on my WhatsApp now, I have the responsibility to check that message. If not immediately, at least almost immediately. Why? Because I'll give that person priority. Why? Because the person is a mentee with me for that period. But if I'm coaching, like it's a coaching call or we are on a coaching session and we are done with the coaching, when we are done with the coaching, uncle, you will go your way, I will go my way. It's simple. Is simple. So I think that's just what the definition would be or what the differences would be for me. There's more deeper connection, kind of, with mentoring and with mentorship than that. But I think another word that people now confuse with mentorship is role model, right? So people now say, oh, he's my mentor, he's my role model. In fact, people call those who are their role models their mentors. If you don't have a really personal relationship with somebody, like the person knows you like this, you can't call the person your mentor. The person is your role model. You know the person from afar. The person, you like the person's work. You like what the person is doing. You want to, do something like, but person does not know you. It's not as if you have signed up for any of the person's classes. It's not as if you paid the person to come and teach you. The person did not sit you down to be on a session with you. My dear, now your role model. Just be looking at the person from afar, right? So when relationship grows to when you are now in, like, a relationship with the person, you can sit with the person to say, "Man, please, I want to do this. What would you advise? I want to do that." Then you are now talking about mentorship. You're talking about mentoring at that point. Yeah, I hope that answers. It's just slight difference, but people still use
Yeah.
them interchangeably as the case may be. So no
Yeah,
confusion anyway.
correct. Awesome answer. Okay, so to the $10 billion question, if if Mary Ogundimu sees the 10 years old Mary Ogundimu, from the things you know now, what would you tell that little girl?
I will just tell her to live her life to the fullest. That's it. Live, like, girl, live your life to the fullest. Don't let anybody talk you down, my girl. Girl, you are made for more. Girl, you can be anything and everything you want to be. Girl, so go for gold. Do everything you have in mind to do. In fact, I will tell the girl, if you are wise, put dabble into a lot of stuff. Try a lot of things, girl. Try it. I mean, you're young, you're 10, for God's sake. Or 10 years ago. You are still in your teenage years now, my dear. Try out stuff. Don't be scared to try out stuff. But as much as you're trying out stuff, ensure that everything is meeting at a point so that your energy will not be scattered. Okay? Because I had maybe that kind of issue at some point. I was in a lot of stuff. In my bid of trying different things, right? Then I now became scattered everywhere. It took somebody to tell me, Mary, you are not productive.
Hmm.
It took somebody to tell me, Mary, see, all you're doing is just activity. You're not being productive. Ha!
Hmm.
That one eats me. Wow, like a blow. It
It
took
shocks
somebody to
you,
actually tell me that years
eats
ago.
you. Hmm.
And then the person said, Mary, I see all you do. I see you are a good girl, right? You are doing well, but ignore all these activities. You're too here and there.
Hmm.
Focus on the things that are productive, the things that will make you productive. I say, that's the problem. Okay, okay. Then I began to channel my ways properly. So I became now interested about only the things that will be productive to me. And productivity is relative. What is productive to me may
Yeah.
not be productive to you. Do you
Yeah,
get? So
correct.
I now
Correct.
began to focus on things that were productive for me. So sometimes when you invite me to some event, I'll tell you I'm not coming because I know that it's not productive for me. Maybe I just wanted to go there just to go and snap pictures so that people will know that, oh, I came to this event. So I had to begin to shed
Yeah.
up those kind of life.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
now very intentional about the things I did. Very, in fact, my intentionality just became like 100%. Nothing you will say.
Wow.
I'm not, even if it is online event. I've had situations where even me sometimes I will share the event, but I won't go because I knew that I won't, it's not, there's nothing I'll actually learn there, maybe at that period, or maybe at some point I've learned so much, I've not used the things I've learned. So it now became information overload at some point. So I would also want that, 10 years younger lady or girl to be careful of information overload. Don't overload yourself. Okay. The ones you've learned, work with it, do something with it and be productive with it. So I think that, in fact,
Amazing.
my own
Like
advice self is like a book.
this is so relatable. Like you're so correct. Like people believe is attending every event, being everywhere that makes you a better person and
Yeah,
makes you a champion. No.
yeah,
So you need selective information,
that's
selective
it.
teachers, selective mentors, not
Yeah.
just this one comes out now. Oh, that's my mentor. This one comes out.
Mm.
Oh yeah, that's where I want to be.
I got to a point in my life where one of my friends said, Mary, wait, how many people are your mentors? He said, Mary, what is happening? How many people are mentoring you? So I had to also begin to work on that also. See, I began to compartmentalize people. This one, I know your place. You are not my mentor. I'm just whatever I'm learning from you at the moment. I'm learning and then I'm moving on. So yeah, those things also happen.
So, guys, Mary has a book titled Suffering and Smiling, the story of a Lagos banker. And I want Mary to really tell us about that book. Tell us about the book. Tell us how people can get a copy of that book, and tell us what they have to do to get that book right now. Though I can say question here. Okay. It's Emmanuel trying to say good explanation, but I've encountered some faces. All right. All right, Mary, just tell us about your book,
Ima-
Suffering and
Ima-
Smiling. I'll get back.
okay,
We'll get back to Emmanuel.
okay, okay. All right. So, Suffering as Money, like I said, was a book I wrote when I left, and then I think I wrote the book after I left. I had to wait for some processes to manifest. And then I felt like, you know what, it's good if I put how my transition journey was in a document format that people can read. So right now I've got people who read it and then they come back and say, "Mary, you know what, you're just talking about my life in this book. Like this is exactly what is happening to me at this moment." So in fact, I think there's a particular chapter in that book where I say that when you are tired of a job or when you're tired of a particular kind of life, the first thing to do is not to jump out. The first thing to do is not to quit because again, you really may want to jump and then you hit your head on the ground and then it breaks. Don't jump out immediately, or don't even jump out in anger and in frustration. You are tired. You just want to make a decision. Don't do that. You're going to injure yourself. Okay. So you get more about it in that book. You get more of those details. If you are at that junction in your life where you really want to make a decision and you don't know what to do, you are stuck up. You're like, wow, what do I do at this point? I'd advise you read this book. It's how it's how so it's my own story, so I'm sure you'll be able to relate with it very well. But that book is actually how I stopped the rat race, how I escaped the 9 to 5 rat race and became more productive, more fulfilled, and more profitable. And everybody should read that book. It's not just meant for just a particular set of people. Okay, it's not just meant for a particular set of people. So that's the book you need when you are at a junction in your life and you need to make a decision. It's been a pretty rough career journey for me, back then I had more days of sadness than joys, more days of regret than appreciation, more days of being caught lost in my own thoughts. And sometimes I feel like I wish I knew this better 7 years ago. I'd have made a better choice. But you know how they say now, our lives are scripts. We are only acting what the master has written concerning us. But sometimes, in fact, many times our future is in our own hands. And whether I woke up late, I'm just grateful that I didn't get to sleep forever. Right? I didn't get to sleep forever. So yeah, that's what the book is about. And yeah, I'd like you to get a copy for yourself. The
So,
book is a
how do we get
deliverance.
a copy?
The
How do we
book, the
get a
book is a
copy?
deliverance. So let me just put a disclaimer. I used to tell people, if you know you are not ready to, if you know you are not at
To
the
be
point of your
delivered.
life where you probably want to make a decision, don't buy it. No, I'm serious. The book has a tendency to trigger some emotions in you. Yeah.
Mm,
Somebody got a reason some time ago, and then she said her mom read it, and her mom was regretting to probably speak with me or something. That who is this girl? Her mom is old, like her mother, and the woman was feeling like she did not achieve anything in her life. Do you know that kind of thing?
mm.
It's serious. Yeah. So if if you know you will not have the capacity, don't read it. I'm serious. I'm serious because it would really trigger some emotions. Some words in there are very like they're heavy and they are carefully selected. So when you are reading it, and another girl was reaching out to me and said, Mary, I was reading this book and I was crying. Oh yes, you will cry. Oh yes. When you wipe your tears, you go back and continue reading it.
The book will
That's
not
it.
pity you.
The book will not be seeing
It
you.
does not have emotion.
It is basketballs, just smite you, but in the end, you'll be
Wow.
happy. You'll really be happy. You got this kind of book actually.
Okay, so please, you
So
can reach out. Yeah. Go on,
yeah,
Mary.
you can reach out to me. My name is Mary Ogundimu on every platform. It's me. I'm the only one who bears that name. When you type Mary Ogundimu on Google, it's my picture. You'll see face like I've trademarked the name. Trademarked. So any other Mary Ogundimu is a counterfeit. Yes, I said that. I'm joking, no, please though. Before somebody who bears Mary Ogundimu will come and say, Mary, what are you saying? But trust me, just reach out to me on all social media platforms. I may delay in responding, but I'll definitely respond. Because my chats are usually a mess, but I'll definitely always respond. Like I'll respond. Send me a DM, send me a message, my phone number. I mean, even my WhatsApp number is everywhere. So it's okay. You can reach out to me wherever, anywhere. Just ensure
All
you are
right.
cautious.
Awesome. 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 So don't go there and say, hi, what's up? Or you go and
Or
type
you
babe.
say, or you come and say hello, baby, or hello, Angu, or hello, Angel. I will block you.
Be careful.
I'm joking. No, I'm joking.
All right. All
Come
right.
and call me baby.
All right, amazing. It's been an amazing conversation. Like I think this is like the longest, probably
Wow,
after
I broke
Dr.
your
Samuel
records.
Ekundayo's session that I've had on my podcast. Thank you so
Oh
much,
my God.
Mary. I do
Thank
not take this
you
for
so
granted.
much.
So
Thank you.
everyone watching
Let
this, and
me
if you're okay,
let me quickly respond to Sharon and then I'll end this, right? He
all
said,
right.
uh, good explanation, but I've encountered some phase of discussion where people say a mentor should be commended and shouldn't request for a payment. For that one, if a coach
Are you joking?
is entitled to be paid, Emmanuel, don't listen to false teachers, so they are false prophets. Please take down this
A
question.
laborer is worthy of his wages.
Don't don't listen to people that have not gotten to anywhere. See, let me tell you something. Please take down this question so that I can see Emmanuel's face. Emmanuel can see my face. I just graduated from Wimby's mentorship. Wimby's is women in management and business, and all that. Go and check out Wimby's. Every of Wimby's mentorship session is paid for. Do you hear me? Paid for. Women in management, business, and public service. That's Wimby's. Paid for. And guess what? Each time, in fact, the last session were over 100 of us. Are you getting me? Do you want to do the calculation? It was even online, no, because of COVID. So none of us, maybe just once in a while, they attached us to mentors. So we had interactions with the people we were attached to. We got their numbers and their details, but that's what mentorship is meant for, anyways. We connected with them. The mentorship session was for 6 months, and my dear, I paid 50,000 naira. Gaskia, if you don't have your money, don't come. So whoever told you that mentors should only be rewarded or commended, they will not only commend you, my brother. Me, I know you to do mentor and I will not collect.
Their reward is in heaven. Their reward is in heaven.
My own reward is not enough, my mentorship session you will pay. Except if I wish, like, okay, just come on for free. Because for God's sake, these people are offering you a service. You want to come and
Mm,
collect service, and then you want to come and who your commendation help? Yeah, by me.
mm,
I've not heard this one before. Please, oh, it's not right. Please, it's a very wrong notion that mentors are only to be commended and coaches are to be paid. So why should a coach be paid and a mentor should not be paid?
mm.
Please, oh, don't let us turn this to a project topic. But it is not right. It is a very wrong insinuation, please.
Amazing, amazing conversation. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much, Mary
much.
Ogundemi. This is so much. I do not take this for granted. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Thank you for giving it full. Thank you for not
Thank you for
hiding the
having me.
best. Thank you for not just giving gifts. Thank you for being a gift. You know, there are people who give gifts who are not gifts, but thank you for being
I
both
know,
in
right?
one. I so much treasure this. I would see you on the back end.
All right.
Thank you, everyone. I hope you got so much value from this session. Is so much. In fact, I want you to watch this, listen to this more than once, because the knowledge in it is powerful. And don't worry, I think I will find a way to bribe Mary when we are having any summit or program or something. We'll bring her again. So there's a saying in Yoruba that when your child does well, you would always want to commend that child. So whosoever does it well, what's being given another version. Okay. So thank you so much, everyone. I hope you got value for your time. I hope this was so transformational to you. Please do well to get that book. Suffering and Smiling is a book you don't want to miss. It's a book you don't want to look away from. It's a book you want to buy and buy for someone. Do well to reach out to Mary and get that book. Until I come your way with another guest on Growth Secret Podcast, remain phenomenal, remain exceptional, and remain legendary. If you're yet to subscribe to this YouTube channel, please do well to subscribe, like, and also share this video with as many as you can. I want you to go right now, search Mary Ogundimu on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. Do well to follow her and also check up her name on YouTube and also subscribe. Thank you so much. I celebrate you till I come your way again. Bye bye.